can take our time. Fishing for blackmail material, that's all. Go on. I insist. Don't laugh, but I'm not quite sure I have anything to share. When you worship Shard, secrecy is everything. We'll sacrifice our own memories when ordered to. A lot of the little things, they're lost to me right now. On the contrary, it helps me create all new memories. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon. What? Oh, I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, thank you for tonight. Me too.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
Now tell me something about yourself. And no tadpoles, dragons, marauding goblins, or anything like that. Something about you. Seems like you truly know the city. I never got to explore it to my liking. Don't stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting. I'm sure they'd last another while without us. But if you insist... Well then, head on back. I'm sure your cold bedroll is missing you terribly. Fishing for blackmail material, that's all. Go on. I insist. Seems like you... Don't stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting. I'm sure they'd last another while. Nothing worthwhile should be rushed anyway. There's still plenty of wine, and the whole night is ahead of us. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon. What? Bashful come the light of day? Anyway, thank you for tonight. Well deserved, though.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
That didn't hurt, did it? stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting. Sounds like you just need a little more liquid inspiration. There's still plenty of wine, and the whole night is ahead of us. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon. I suppose so. Celebration's over. Time to pick up the trail again. Thank you for last night. Well deserved, though.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
We should head back. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon. Another moment won't kill them, I suppose. Well, it might, but let's take that risk. Thank you for last night. It was just what I needed.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
That didn't hurt, did it? I'd like to think that would have happened anyway. Let's head back, if we must.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, And I promised I would help you however I could. It's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous.
Nearly light. The others will be awake soon. What? I know, but you're sweet to notice. Thank you for last night. Me too.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
That didn't hurt, did it? I should think so. Let's head back, if we must.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
To Moonrise Towers, then. May the sun and stars guide us.
I won't be held accountable just because you're naive enough to expect easy answers. Now, allow me to continue. To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. So it seems, though I don't know how. You'll have to choose your approach carefully. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. The decision is yours, but I'd favor the Underdark. Even a place like that is the lesser evil compared to the shadow-cursed lands. Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aradin. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. Unfinished business, and a lifetime of regret to repair. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. I spent years researching the curse, trying to put an end to it. Nothing has worked. Yet, if I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse. Same as you may find a cure for your infection. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceremorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her. Precisely. Who indeed? You do not know, and neither do any of the others. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Contrary to how some think of us, we druids can play politics when necessary. Now, we've quite the journey ahead. Best get started.
Do not be so impatient to move on as Halsin. As ever, the Githyanki Kresh remains our priority.
Something the matter? Wouldn't you be in my place? If there's even the slightest chance that Shah worshippers remain within our reach, we should try and find them. Even if they're all long gone, and that seems quite likely from what we know, who knows what they may have left behind for us to use? My people are nothing if not resourceful. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. Not my mother. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. Not my mother. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me. And I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate. Hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come. Dark Justiciars are hated by many, judged to be ruthless fanatics. Even the few who would accept a follower of Lady Shah would likely balk at a Justiciar in their midst. But there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I had until I saw some things that reminded me. Now, I can't get it out of my mind. Fine. What's on your mind? I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with. You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly, but all things considered, you'll do. And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. Perhaps I'll be able to return the favor at some point. It's been too long. All's well, I hope. I was going to say the very same thing, as soon as I worked up my courage a little. I can't recall the last time I shared so much with someone. Maybe I never did before. It meant a lot to me. You mean a lot to me. And that was before the kiss. Didn't feel like a mistake to me. Far from it. But I'll respect your wishes. Consider it forgotten. I'm adept at that. Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? Fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember the... Not my mother. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I don't... Doc, but there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I have. Fine. You're not the kind of and I haven't forgotten that you... I suppose no excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our... All's well, I hope. I was going to say I can't... And that was before the kiss. I hope so too. Though I'm not sure what kind of courtship we'll be afforded, given all that we're facing. But if you want to see where this goes, I do as well. Very serious of you. But go ahead. Always good when I'm with you. Fine. What's on your mind? You're doing just fine. After all, I'd scarcely anticipated being courted while fighting for survival in the wilderness. I'd join you, but things are looking a tad crowded. You'll need to make room for me. I don't recall inviting you over.
Not now.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Speak.
Oakfather's blessings to you. Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I felt removed from nature. I'll miss my books. That I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand. I'm sure something will come to me, given time. Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the Grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I'll miss my books. But I can find all the... Is that so? Well, nature does abhor waste. I will keep watch, thank you. I had a feeling time in your company would prove fruitful. Perhaps. But we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said. I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. Impressive. Most would quake at the mere thought of delving that far into the Underdark. What did you find? Keep looking. If they're present, then it's likely there's a route to Moonrise somewhere. It may prove impossible to avoid the Shadow Curse entirely, but if you find any way to limit your exposure, seize it. Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source. There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside. You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same. A bad impression. Impossible. You wish to speak? You wish to speak? Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. Perhaps. But we'll put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said. Wonderfully. I'll miss my books. But I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand. There are few things that are too strong in other circumstances. I would have done the same. Perhaps. But best to not dwell on nights past. There are plenty more yet to come.
Speak. So I did, and he served his use. Most enthusiastically, I might add. I may even avail myself of his talents again, should he keep his fangs off my flesh. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. Buffoonery. And you believe it no more than I do. Whatever this voice, whomever this master, it dominates dreams and unites minds.
Yes. Perhaps if you lost a follower or two. Until then.
So, that's what people mean when they talk about... Did you once...